An unusual cat set based upon the order of entry and exit in a lounge. These sets started being known as entry-exit based sets. Though essentially they are arrangement sets. There is an arrangement, there's an order amongst the arrivals. There's an arrangement to be done, as in the order of exit need to be fixed. Yet students find them far more difficult than a typical arrangement set. And the reason is these clues, the way the clues are given. They are difficult to be interpreted, to be deciphered. It's far more difficult to represent them. So pay very careful attention, how do we represent these clues. There is a second difficulty which once I've represented the clues, I'll talk about it. So let's see what this set is all about. I'll divide my working space into two. On the left, I'm going to write all the clues. I'm going to use all the clues and represent them as packets. And on the right, I'm going to do the final arrangement. And the final arrangement, I would be doing it as the first column is entry, anyone who enters the room. The second column is exit, whoever leaves the room. And the third column is those who are present in the room. So this is the structure of tabulating this data. What does it say? There are 7 faculty members who frequent a lounge. These are the comments made by a few of the 7 people. JC says, I came in first. So what happens initially, a start is given to us, and the next 2 persons to enter were SS and SM when I left. So we'll consider the left part later on. So the first thing, the first person to enter, it's an entry. So JC enters. And since it's an entry in a row, we'll either write an entry event or an exit event, right? So the exit, I just put a dot to represent nothing is there. And the person present now is just JC, right? Now, 2 things can happen after this. There can be an exit event. If there's an exit event, the person to exit is JC. Now JC comes in, JC leaves. Yeah, it seems to be a little, a frivolous case. Yeah, so I'm not going to consider it right now. It can be a possibility, but more about it later, not right now. Then there could be an entry, and if it is an entry, then it has to be SS and SM, because it says the next 2 persons to enter were SS and SM. So 2 people come simultaneously, that is SS and SM. Right, so the entry is in the first column, the second column I just put a dot and I proceed. So now the people present are JC, SS and SM. Okay, let's read ahead. When I left, that is when JC left, JP and VR were present in the lounge. DG left with me. So this is the part that I was saying, how do we represent it? So what I'm going to do is, it's talking about an exit event and who are present. So just before the exit event, I'll say entry column dot, exit column dot, who are present over there. So JC is going to leave and JC is going to leave with DG. So both of them have to be there, and the clue says that JP and VR were also present. So JP and VR were present then. So these are the 4 people who are present. There may be more or so on, so I do not know, but then there's no only or anything written. And at this moment, the next step that happens is JC and DG leave. So the exit is JC and DG. So once they left, then JC, DG leaves. So what is left over is JP and VR are left in the room. So this is 1 box, 2 rows that should come consecutively. So the moment I see these 4, I can think possibly the next event is going to be the exit of JC and DG. Okay. JP, when I enter the lounge with VR, so JP enters with VR, JC was sitting there. There was someone else, but I cannot remember who it was. So the event is JP is coming in along with VR, but just before that, we know that JC was sitting over there. So JC is in the room, and along with JC, there's one more person, but I don't know who it is. And at this moment, there's an entry of JP with VR. JP with VR. So after they enter, now there would be JC, the unknown person that we don't know as of now, and JP and VR. These are the 4 people who would be in the lounge. So this is a second clue. I like to mark it as boxes and so on, so I can pick this as a packet and put it anywhere here. Okay, now SM. I went to the lounge for a short while, not much data there, and met JC, SS and DG. Remember, this is met. It doesn't say that when SM went to the lounge, who are present. It doesn't mean these guys are present. It is he went to the lounge, and in the lounge he met these people. So these people could be present from before, or it is possible that the SS or DG or JC might have come later on and this guy has met him. So it's just about meeting, right? So therefore I said it's a little difficult to interpret these clues sometimes. So it's not about entry, it's not about exit, it is just about that SM. Along with SM, at some point of time, I would definitely have JC, I would also have SS, and I would have DG. Each of these have to be along with SS at some point of time in the room. Okay, the next, so let's look at, can I link any clues here? Okay, so JC is with someone, then JP VR comes. Okay, this is JC, and then there is this DG, and then there's JP and VR. Oh, so probably this event may be before the earlier event. Yeah, maybe. I'm just thinking. So JC is with one guy, and who is that guy? It is probably DG. So JC and DG is there, and then JP and VR come in. So these 4 happen, and after that JC and DG leave, and then these are left, JP and VR. Okay, so possible. About SM, now SM is with JC. SM hasn't come in anywhere over there, but he is with JC, with SS. SS is also not present there, so a little early to link this clue to any of them. SS says I left immediately after SM left. Now that's a very small clue, so it's about an exit event. SM will leave first, and immediately after SM leaves, we will have SS will also leave after that, right? So these are immediately. So 2 small, very easy ones to interpret. DG. I met, again it is about meeting. Okay, JC, SS, SM, JP and VR during my first visit. So this is suggestive of first, second, third visit kind of. First visit. I went back to my office. Back to my office is nothing but an exit from the lounge. Okay, with JC. When I went to the lounge the second time, so as I said, the first one suggested there's a second time. So a lot of data is here. So be a little careful, hang on. First it is met. It doesn't mean that these guys are present, as I've already explained here. When DG entered, it doesn't mean these guys are there. Some of them might come in later. Some of them might be from previous, but a meeting should happen. So again, this is about DG. While DG is in the lounge, he should have been in the lounge along with JC, SS, with SM, with JP, lots of people with JP and with VR. Okay, so 4 people I see, JC, DG, okay, yeah, here there's DG. If DG was along with these people, then JC, DG, JP, VR, JC, JP, VR, DG, all of them are there, SS, SM. Okay, so the SS, SM exit, this exit event will probably happen after this. DG would have met all of them and then the exit would have happened. So probably this event here is going to happen first and then the exit is going to happen. Again, just to get an idea of what the order in which they might be. Okay, now during my first visit, I went back to the office with JC. So now that's a different clue. So I do not know who is present when this guy leaves. Nothing is given of that sort. He met with these guys. So don't link it with this. So this clue is over here. There's another clue which says when I went back to the office with JC, there's an exit of DG and JC. There's an exit of DG and JC. Okay, so that exit of DGJC, just one event, let's leave it like this. Use your own notation, students. Nothing very strict about how I am doing. There's no science to this notation. Anything that helps you represent this worded sentence. I went back with JC and exit. When I went to the lounge the second time, JP and VR were there. This is very similar to what we had earlier. So there is going to be JP and VR. JP and VR are present over there, and that is the time when DG enters the second time. DG enters the second time. Okay. JP VR is going to be present. DG enters the second time. Okay. JP VR. We had na JP VR. Okay. So this is a later event. JP VR are present, and then DG comes. So after 2, there could be this 3. So 1, 2, 3. It looks like, and these two, first this and then this is going to happen. Okay. PK. I had some urgent work, so I did not sit in the lounge that day. So he did not sit over there, but just collected my coffee and left. So he came in, took his coffee and left. Okay, PK. JP and DG were the only, now this is the only people in the lounge while I was there. So that clue again, it says the people who were there. So I'll start with people who were there, and they were JP and DG, JP and DG, DG. And that is the time when PK entered, and as soon as he entered, he got added to it, but he immediately also left. He also left, and then there's again JP and DG who are left, who were there when he came in. So this is 3 rows. And they happen immediately after each other, because it says I just came and I left immediately. VR, no comments. So this is how I would capture the packet, students. Once I have these clues, I'm going to pick these clues and try to put it into the final arrangement. I had earlier said that there is a second difficulty in such sets. I'll talk about it now. That difficulty is there can be many possibilities. Like, so for example, what happens after this? JC could leave, SS or SM could leave, so SM, SS could leave, JC leaving. So I would look out over here and I could see JC leaving. Okay, JC is going to leave, but JC leaves with DG when there are these kind of people, but that is not. So JC leaving, I don't think so. Can SM, SS leave? Yes, they can leave. Okay, or else there could be some entry. Now who could enter? 3 members are there. Any of the 4 could enter. So JP could enter. Now, but I see here JP enters with VR, and JP enters when there is JC and 1 person. Currently there are 2 over there. So maybe JP doesn't enter. If JC, SMSS is already there. Maybe DG enters. Is there any entry of DG? Oh, this is second entry of DG. I have nothing about DG. Okay, PK or VR. VR, if VR is entering, then he will enter with JP, and that's the same problem. They enter when there is JC and 1 person, okay? So PK enters when there's JP and DG. PK enters, so that also doesn't seem possible. So I look at clues like this. Who can exit, who can come in, right? And overall, I have an idea. So in fact, while speaking out, we figured out, okay, it is not JP or VR who is going to enter. We could have SM, SS leave. But now, if SM and SS leave, they have come into the lounge and they have left. But I need DG to meet all of them, SS as well as SM. So before they exit, I would want DG to come in. So probably now is the time when DG comes in. How would I know? I don't know, I'm guessing it. But then if you just pause over here and you say, I want a perfect answer, it's not possible, students. In these there are many possibilities who could come and leave. So what my message is, as long as you're able to fit this in, just keep going ahead with one arrangement. So for example, I see the DG coming in here. DG is coming in for the first time. So this means that now there is JC, there is SS, SM, the earlier members, and there is also DG now. DG present, and DG has met with JC, has met with SS, has met with SM. Seems possible. Okay, DG coming in. Okay, so DG, and after this he has met, only then I'll ask them to leave. And probably now that the meeting has happened, I can ask them to leave. SS and SM, because once I ask them to leave, what will happen is then only JC and DG will be left. And do I want two people to be left? Yes. So eventually this seems like everything is fitting in like a jigsaw piece on its own, right? So after this, what will I put in? I'll put in an event that these guys are leaving. So when they're leaving, I know SM leaves first. So when SM leaves, there is going to be JC left, SS and DG. And after that, SS will also leave, and when SS leaves, there is only JC and DG. So that unknown person that we are talking about may be DG. We all had guessed that earlier also. So this is going to happen now. And now JP and VR enter. So JP and VR both enter. Now again, without a lot of thought, I have put in. Why? Because again, that same point, I see something fitting in. So let me fit it in. If it is not going to complete the picture, I will face some contradiction in some way. Then I'll go back and erase the last few steps and try something else. But trying is more important than waiting for a perfect solution here, students. Okay. So JPVR come in. And if JPVR come in, now there are 4 people. There's JC, DG, JP and VR. All 4 are there. Okay. So I've got this also, and after this I've got all 4 JC, DG, JP, VR. So I could even ask them to exit. Should I ask them? So let's see. I've got this into picture. Has SM met all these people? JC, has he met? Yes. SM is with JC. SM is with SS. And is SM with DG? Yes. So DG also, SM has met DG. So this part is also taken care. This is taken care. Now I want DG to meet JP and VR. They have entered. So the JP met and the VR meeting part is also done. Right? So I've taken care of all these. So I can easily look at the exit now. Now the exit is DG and JC. Oh, this is an exit. This is with sentence of DG. I went back with JC, and here with JC also there's a sentence DG left with me. Okay, so perfect place to fit this in. So the next clue is that there is an exit event JC and DG, the next event, not clue. JC and DG go out, so who will be left will be JP and VR. JP and VR, and perfect now. So the exit has happened, JPVR, and when JPVR is there, then DG comes in. So DG left and DG came in again. The next event to happen is again DG came in. DG came in the second time. Right? And because I want DG out over here, because only then that JP and DG will again be possible when PK enters. Right? So DG comes in. If DG comes in, there's JP earlier. There's VR and there is DG again. And this time, now I have got this also into picture. Now I want JP and DG. So if I want JP and DG, I'll get an event from my end, which is VR leaves. There's no quitting of exit of VR, but I'll get it from my end. VR leaves, and if VR leaves, it's JP and DG who is left in this room. And once JP and DG are left in the room, I can easily get PK. PK is the next person to come in, and if PK comes in, you don't need to write everything. I am writing this, okay, just because it's a comprehensive video I want to make, right? PK, sorry. I'll undo that. PK. And then PK will immediately also leave. And when PK leaves, it is back to JP. Let me take this pen out here. We don't need it. JP and DG. So this is my complete arrangement now. It's as neat as you can get it, students. Usually it is even messier than this, right? Do not try to put it in columns or rows, at least unless you have decent amount of space. I am constrained with space, so I've just put it down this way. So I leave, once I get an arrangement, I'm going to go through the clues again to check whether everything matches up. I'll leave that exercise for you. I'll take this arrangement and I'll try to now answer the question, show you the questions, right? So let me just copy this. Give me a minute, let me just copy it. So from this arrangement part, this is the complete arrangement. I have copied it. Let me go to the next page. And these are the questions, and let me paste it. So here is the arrangement. Now let's try to answer the questions. Based on the responses, which of the two, JP or DG, entered the lounge first? Out of JP or DG? Out of JP or DG, DG came in first, then JP came. So DG. Sorry. Where's the pen? DG. Who was sitting with JC when JP entered the lounge? So look at the entry column, JP, who was sitting with JC? It was again DG was sitting. So these are the answers. How many of the 7 members did VR meet on Friday in the lounge? VR has met with how much? So let's look, where is VR entering? VR is entered here. So VR has met JC, DG, JP. 3 of them is there. Then he continues. JP is the same, he has already met. Then DG, JP, DG, same. DG comes in again, so he's again met him, so nothing new. And then VR leaves, never to come. So that is 3 members. He would have met 3 members. And the last question, who were the last 2 faculty members to leave the lounge? And the last 2 faculty members to leave, so we are left with JP and DG. JP and DG, do we find JP and DG in the options? Yes, JP and DG are in the option. So it's a tough set. For a first timer, it's very difficult, and that is the challenge what CAT comes up with. So remember, that is why we keep saying build your reasoning idea. Don't try to build familiarity more. As you practice more and more, it will keep getting more and more things will get familiar. But then CAT usually throws in a surprise and a new setting, a new puzzle kind of a thing. It is only when you're very strong in your reasoning can you sort of, play that googly kind of a ball. Okay. Anyways, for practice, we'll do a couple of sets more like this.